middle-class families will be paying, granted, a little bit more, but still a little bit more if this passes. And then also, they're still dealing with issues like gas prices being high. You guys have talked about the actions you're going to take or are looking at, but these are long-term solutions mostly that you're talking about. So what will be done in the immediate future to address the next year?
Actually, many of them are short-term. But what is true and is not often out there is that a lot of these pandemic relief programs are ending, right? Are ending. So if you look at the spending, I don't really have a graph right now, I'm kind of making a fake one, but if you look at the spending from pandemic relief, that is going to go down because a lot of those programs are ending. So when people are out there, this isn't your question, but it just made me think of it, when people are out there criticizing the influx of money into the economy, that's actually misleading and inaccurate. What we're really talking about here is we're ending those programs. The president supports that. There are programs, to your point, like the child tax credit, that if we don't extend the child tax credit, 40 million Americans will no longer get the benefit of the child tax credit. That's an immediate benefit that would be happening next year. I mentioned before, investing in housing and building lower income or available housing that allows for options for lower income and middle income families. That is something that will have an impact. Cutting childcare costs in half. That's something that will happen next year. Those are all ways that we're working. We are trying to and focused on lowering costs for Americans. That would be a part of this bill.
I want to ask you about real quick about Ukraine. I know you discussed earlier the Russian troops amassing on the Ukrainian border. Field hospitals, as we all know, started being set up in April, indicating that there might be some action there. Blinken's comments about concern about Russia rehashing the 2014 invasion, and then Jake Sullivan underscoring the commitment to Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity. But it doesn't seem there's been any indication of more support on the way from the U.S. right now.
To the Ukrainians?
To the Ukrainians. Ukrainians. And then, so why is that? And then also, why did we send the CIA director to Russia instead of the Secretary of Defense or our ambassador or Blinken to handle this kind of a diplomacy issue? Like, who is he speaking for in that trip?
He's speaking for the U.S. government. I'd also note that the CIA director is also the former ambassador to Russia and the former deputy secretary of state. So he does come to it with quite a bit of experience. But the president looks at his national security team as a group of smart, engaged individuals who are representing his national interests overseas, and that's what he's doing. I will note on the Ukraine question, part of the reason I mentioned the engagement with European allies and partners is because, as you know, we operate in lockstep with our allies and partners. That's how we've approached things. We have a shared concern about reports of military buildup on the border. I don't have anything to preview at this point in time, but that is something that we are very actively engaged with, not just the Russians on and the Ukrainians, but also our European partners as well. I just want to skip around because I know we're not getting to enough people in the back, so I hear. Okay, let's go all the way.
We're on the side.
Time.
Thank you very much, Jen. I had a question about the meeting between Xi Jinping and President Biden on Monday.